Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this webinar on the YSP program. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Dr. Vinita Shastri, who's the Dean at the Office of Global Education and Strategic Programs, often referred to as the GESP at Ashoka University. In this role, she leads all international partnerships, develops prospective institutional partners, manages all the study abroad and student exchanges. She also leads the summer programs at the university, which include the summer semester for undergraduate students and the educational programs for high school students, such as the Young Scholars Program, YSP Advanced, and the newly imagined YSP Sciences. In addition, she collaborates with different stakeholders to lead the outward-facing enrichment programs at the university. Prior to this, she was the founding dean of the undergraduate programs at Ashoka University. In this role, she built the undergraduate program, put end-to-end processes and systems to help establish an outstanding undergraduate student experience. Additionally, she has brought best global practices at Ashoka and has managed and mentored various teams at the university. Dr. Shastri has a PhD from Cornell University and has earlier taught at Boston University, University of Massachusetts, and Wellesley College. Over to you, Dean Shastri, to take us through the Young Scholars Program and the newly launched YSP Sciences at Ashoka University.
Thank you, Dia, for that kind introduction. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Young Scholars webinar that we are having this evening. So those of you who are here as parents or as students who are interested to apply, a very warm welcome, and I hope you are at the right place. This is the high school program that we run for students to experience Ashoka University's learning style, methods, and just the campus if you do come to the sciences. So let me share my screen and then we can get started with the presentation that I have for you. So this year we are doing the YSP, which is our broad-based program for high school students as a pre-college program in online. It will be hosted in May 16th to 20th. So these are the dates for the general YSP program. Then let me just talk a little bit about, why should you do the YSP program? Oh, sorry. We have the Ashoka University, we should know that is a liberal arts and sciences university. So there is a different style of learning. And, Ashoka is a young university, but this program really introduces you to what college life can offer. And so this is a very good sort of sneak peek into undergraduate experience, college options, majors, departments, and so on. And even though it is just a 1 week, it really gives a good introduction because a very outstanding Ashoka faculty teach. This is not done by anybody outside. And you can, from there, and the way the exam and the program is structured, you can really understand how we talk about what do we mean by multidisciplinarity. And one of the, why we are doing this webinar today is because the deadline is coming up. The first deadline is coming up at least on the 6th March. So we want you to really complete and submit your application. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. Just one quick, we'll come back to it, but we are introducing YSP Sciences and a little bit more details about how that is going to get structured in a moment. Just in terms of the faculty and the sessions and the subjects that will be covered this year in the YSP, you can see it's a very broad-based breadth kind of introduction from psychology to physics to the social sciences like economics, history, to literature in the humanities. So we have, then of course, like some of these very interesting sort of newer disciplines that are coming up in between various things, like, for example, digital humanities, which is sort of at the brink of literature and computer science, or, for example, entrepreneurship, which is sort of talking about design thinking that is going to help students in different ways in looking at what they want to do in terms of their education. A lot of people ask us for the structure of the day. So it is a full day program, and we start with academic sessions. Then we have, writing sessions. Then we have a small group discussion session, which is led by our Ashoka students. We employ a whole lot of our own undergraduate students, and they run discussion sessions. The YSP Atelier is the online workshop, studio workshop, which is offered and you have choice in signing up for there are lots of different opportunities. Then we have some special guests, or our founders come and talk. One of the most important guest sessions is that we actually have a presentation by our admissions team, and they come and tell you a little bit about how to apply for the Ashoka UG admission if you're interested. That actually is very broad-based presentation. So even if you want to apply to elsewhere, to other colleges, that the tips you get there on how to write your essay, how to write your SOP, how to write, present yourself in terms of your profile, all of that is very useful. And then, of course, we have a social hour in the evening, which is called YSP Unwind, where you kind of can hang out and get to meet your friends from which are all over the country and actually also the world. The fact that this is online has actually made it accessible to at least students in the nearby countries. So last year we had lots of students from the Middle East, of course, Nepal, and surrounding Bangladesh and Sri Lanka as well. Okay, so this is a little bit more about the discussion sessions and the writing sessions, which is a very important component. And we get a lot of these testimonials that, some students who thought they could never write a poem, are able to, come out of that shell and get motivated enough to write and discover writing, because really writing is a very important part of the liberal arts pedagogy. And of course, the discussion sessions, I won't talk too much about it. We have somebody else who'll talk about it a little bit more, our student. So this is a very important feature of the YSP Day and the program. These are some of the sampling of the workshops that this is just from the last few years. Some of them may be repeated, some of them may be completely new, but all I again want to say is there's a nice diverse range, and it's very creative, and it's also done in smaller groups, so you can really get a hands-on and just discover a new hobby or something new about yourself. These are just some of the testimonials that we get each year. The students have so much fun; they don't want to leave. They just rethink so many things about their school education, but also discover new things. A lot of students who take the YSP were preparing for some competitive exam or thinking of going abroad. Suddenly, Ashoka, as an opportunity, as an option, opens up. These are some parents' testimonials, and we have a parent here today, so we will hear from really in real life what it means to be watch your your child take the YSP. And then, of course, we know that this is going to be online for the majority of you who will take the YSP. So in the orientation, in the beginning of the program, we will give you a nice campus tour, which you can, experience the campus as well and see different parts of it. As you can see, even right behind me in the virtual background, these are some of the academic buildings on my left, and some more administrative buildings in the far. You can't see that over there. Okay. So really, we are very excited to have launched the YSP. We've got a lot of interest. I think we have got almost nearly 1,000 students who are on our portal, on our platform, applying. But you have to jump the fence and submit, right? And this is a very special year also because it's the 10th YSP. So I really invite you to be part of this and make history for us, because we will be branding this program this year in a very special way. And just quick takeaways, right? Get an exposure to a range of disciplines. You may be doing science, or you may be doing history, and you thought you could never do math. But you know what? YSP will give you that view to look at disciplines in a different way. And then the discussion sessions, which we'll talk about. So really, a lot of people don't know what liberal arts is. So come and see what liberal arts is in action. And of course, this year, because we're introducing YSP Sciences, your gateway to YSP Sciences is through the YSP. So you really have to do YSP to be able to, be considered and be part of YSP Sciences. So with that, let me go and talk a little bit about the YSP Sciences, which is being introduced for the first time. It is going to be from May 30th to June 3rd. It is going to be on campus. It'll be a much smaller group, grades 9 to 12, 5 high school students. It's like an add-on week after YSP, and it will cover a broad range of our sciences. We really want to showcase, what people are doing in our sciences. These are real photographs from our own labs, and Professor Shashidhara leads the science departments, and he's the dean there. And so you will really have a fantastic experience about how the sciences at Ashoka are also multidisciplinary and how they really interact and sort of work with each other. However, there are requirements. Like I said, if you are, because it's going to be on campus, you have to be vaccinated. You have to show proof of that. And of course, there will be screening. And the way the YSP is going to get structured is that once you are in the YSP program, then the team at the YSP Sciences will select. So if some of you have already been started your application, you'll see that in our application, there is a drop down. There is a question which says, are you interested in YSP Sciences? If you are, please do select yes, because then we will follow up and we will then review your admission for the YSP Sciences. Same application, nothing new to do, just choose this yes or no button. So this is the most important thing, I think. We obviously, this is a fee-based program. There's an application fee. If you're just doing the YSP, it's 25,000 rupees. If you're also doing the YSP Sciences, because it is in person, it is 40,000. And of course, being Ashoka, we have financial aid. So again, on the application form, there is, that option. If you want to apply for financial aid, you have to then go and submit other extra documents, your income tax returns from your family, and so on and so forth. But once you have that, then we will be reviewing that separately, and we will offer and make decisions based on need, not merit. So we have really a deadline coming up, and that is why this webinar is timely. Please submit your application. Don't worry and fuss too much about your essay. If you're curious, if you write a good, authentic, and with some kind of, integrity, why you want to do the program, you can do that. Here is the email with the phone numbers. So call us or email us, and we will answer your questions. This is just something about the social media, because if you are, we are very actively sort of talking about the details of the program on our Instagram handle. So please do follow us at YSP_Ashoka University, right, on Insta. So with that, let me stop here, and I can go back to the YSP Sciences slide, and maybe we just keep it there for the time when my colleague, Dr. Yukti Arora, will take over from here and talk a little bit more about the sciences. So over to you, Yukti. I'll let you introduce yourself, and we can go from there.
Sure. Thank you so much, Dr. Shastri, for setting the context, and good evening, everybody. Trust you are all doing well and are taking good care of yourselves and your dear ones. My name is Yukti. I am working as a Senior Manager, Academic Communications at the Office of Research and Development at Ashoka University. Before joining Ashoka, I completed my PhD in Chemical Sciences from Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, Bombay. So coming back to YSP Sciences, the participants truly will get an exposure this year to different science disciplines, including chemistry, physics, biology, computer sciences, etc., through faculty presentations. Like we mentioned in the last webinar, there will be extensive hands-on activities in the science labs. We have a lot of group activities and discussion sessions lined up, science games, quizzes, and a lot more learning through fun. So I would quickly reiterate a few announcements on YSP Sciences. So the program fee, as mentioned by Professor Shastri, is now updated on the YSP website. It is 40,000 INR. And to avoid any confusion, this is not inclusive of the general YSP fee. You have to pay the general YSP fee separately. And as YSP Sciences program is going to be conducted on campus, so the fee, which is 40,000, is inclusive of the accommodation and the meal expenses. Also, regarding the vaccine requirement, like we have mentioned previously, you need to have received at least first jab of an approved vaccine at least 2 weeks prior to like before you arrive on campus, and there will be a temperature and SpO2 screening that will happen before you enter the main gate, and you might be requested to provide the proof of vaccination at that stage. So here's your chance to get the true essence of how scientists are finding solutions to real life problems. There will be sessions which will be extremely interactive, and you'll get answers to a wide variety of questions ranging from the evolving story of our universe to the impact of ice age on birds and the role of chemistry in shaping our futures. Also, to name a few, there will be sessions on clean energy, nanomachines in our body, and many other exciting hands-on activities around model organisms like we discussed previously, optics, machine learning, etc. I won't spill more beans at this stage. I would like to reiterate that this is a fantastic opportunity to test different waters and really explore your interest to make an educated decision about your future career path. So this is the first time that we are introducing YSP Sciences. The batch is going to be very, very special. And by early next week, we will be adding the program structure and the list of frequently asked questions for your reference on the YSP Sciences website. So do keep an eye out. I will stop at this stage, wishing you all the best and look forward to welcoming some of you on campus in May. Thank you.
Thank you, Yukti. I'm going to stop sharing. I just wanted to put the slide again for anybody who is interested. You can just, this is the URL. This is all questions for the young scholars, and then ysp.sciences for sciences, and of course the Instagram and the phone numbers. Okay, so we'll of course send this to you if you like, but it's also on our website. So let me stop there and invite a special guest, mother of a YSP parent, Vaishali Sanghvi, who has kindly agreed to join us. And over to you, Vaishali, for your YSP from your perspective.
Good evening, everyone present today. I'm extremely grateful to Ashoka University for giving me this wonderful opportunity to share my son Malhar's experience of the YSP program. Malhar is coming from a conventional curriculum of ISC and was preparing to pursue a conventional CA degree or a BBA finance, as he was inclined towards finance, investments, and economics from a very early age. This was until he came across this quote by the founder of Ashoka, Mr. Ashish Dhawan, which said, "Investments is the ultimate form of liberal arts." This intrigued him to explore the interdisciplinary pedagogy. So when the YSP 2020 was announced, he enrolled for it, even though it was online. The sessions by the faculty exposed him to a completely different methodology, where each subject was taught in the realm of the other subjects and not by itself. This method engaged him and also made him realize the importance of reading, writing, and giving equal importance to your academics, extracurricular activities, and community service. Malhar used to be a very shy child by nature, but he soon realized the benefit of being extremely communicative and expressive after he joined YSP. So he tried to step out of his comfort zone by writing a lot of blogs to reflect upon his learnings. And in the process, I also observed that he started reasoning everything he was doing and engaged in various research projects beyond his curriculum to get a deeper understanding of the subjects. So after he finished his YSP and started getting more holistic in his approach, he also joined the Urban Lab, which again taught him to identify a social problem and devise appropriate methods to overcome them. So these learnings helped him to identify social problems faced by senior citizens during the COVID pandemic and facilitated him to undertake few drives to render utmost help to them. Gradually, analyzing a problem from various perspectives helped him to develop his personality holistically. He started reading books from different genres and started exploring unventured hobbies readily. Adopting this approach helped him through his undergraduate application process to Ashoka and many other liberal arts universities in India. And now he feels blessed to have secured admission to his dream university, Ashoka. So as a parent, I feel extremely satisfied to see his transformational, enriching journey from being just an academically motivated student to a well-rounded student. Thank you once again to Ashoka, and especially the YSP program. Thank you.
you, Vaishali, for that wonderful, your coming really from the heart about your son's experience of not only just one of the YSP programs, but the edition that we did that time on Urban Lab. And I'm so glad that he has really broadened his horizon, and
Yes.
and his trajectory in the last 2 years has been amazing. I have to say that, he sends me updates. He sends me emails. He invites me to all the other things that he's doing. And I saw one of his presentations to an entrepreneurship group. He was just wonderful. So obviously, he's well deserved the Ashoka admission. Congratulations to you and your family. And if I may ask, I think your second son is also looking to do YSP this year.
Yes, ma'am. He's very excited to come on board. He is.
Okay.
He's already filled his form and he's ready to come. He's in the 9th grade this year, but he's very excited to come and do the YSP with you.
Great. We look forward to having him. Thank you, Vaishali. Let me now invite Dia Rungta, one of our students, who is going to talk about the YSP from her experience. Over to you, Rungta.
Thank you, ma'am. So good evening, everyone, once again. So I'm Dia Rungta. I'm an YSP alum from the batch of 2020, and I'm currently an undergraduate student at Ashoka University. I'm pursuing a computer science major with most probably an economics degree. And here you might notice that I'm saying most probably because Ashoka gives us so much flexibility in choosing our major, minor, the amount of time. So yeah. So coming to my YSP journey. So I applied in 2020, which was the first year that YSP was happening online. I'd heard so much from my seniors, friends who had done it before, all about campus, raving about the professors, the food at campus, the experience we have at YSP, that I was really excited for it. But again, since it was the first time happening online and I didn't know anyone as such who was participating in it, I was very apprehensive and also a little nervous about how it's going to be. But all that nervousness and everything disappeared because in just the first few sessions at YSP, it became like a comfort zone for me. The talks that we had with founders, the cohort sessions that we had with different undergraduate students, as well as peers from different high schools, was very, very comforting, and it was an amazing experience, to say the least. I had applied to YSP not only because of seniors and friends who had told me about it, but also Ashoka was one of my target universities. And like I said, I'm pursuing CS, but I was not fully sure about it at that time. And I wanted to explore it in a more holistic manner and explore different fields too. And that's exactly what YSP gave me an opportunity to do. It makes you truly understand the essence of liberal arts in an entirety through all the workshops and sessions that are held. We have options to choose from a plethora of activities, which are not just academically related to. There's theater, music, poetry, debating, interacting with peers from all over India with similar mindsets or even very different ones. It's all a once in a lifetime experience, I feel. And it truly gives you the essence of a college life experience sitting at home as a high school student. So it was one of the major things that I really enjoyed at YSP was the professor lectures. There are so many esteemed professors like Professor Debayan Gupta, Professor Madhuri Menon, who made me interested in fields I never thought of. There was this session with Professor Aditi, who is an international relations professor. I come from from a science background in 11th, 12th. I had an ICSE school curriculum, and I was very singular minded about just pursuing science, right? But coming to Ashoka, coming to YSP made me broaden my horizon. It exposed me to fields that I never thought I'd be interested in. I explored the combination of CS and finance, CS and psychology, international relations, etc. And that's actually what I did my presentation in YSP about too. So overall, I think YSP is the perfect opportunity for high school students to experience not just academic not just broaden their horizons academically, but also socially, culturally, and explore liberal arts in its entirety. So that's all I'd like to say. And one thing that how it's really helped me as an undergraduate student itself. So that was my YSP experience, but how it's helped me be a part of Ashoka as an undergraduate student is one major thing I found was the writing. So at YSP, we had these weekly writing workshops where we were exposed to critical thinking and developing our critical and creative reading, thinking, and writing skills, which is very essential in your college experience. So that's actually helped me in my papers as an undergraduate student. We have to write a lot of academic papers, research papers, and because of the experience I garnered at the YSP workshops, I'm able to inculcate those skills in my undergraduate studies too. So that has really helped me. And because of YSP, I was exposed to professors and peers, like I said, and that's essentially your entire college experience. It's all about networking and going out of your comfort zone to explore different fields that you never thought you'd be interested in. And I feel like YSP gave me a perfect platform for me to step on and then advance in my undergraduate studies. So I'm very happy that I made the decision of pursuing YSP. And it has really helped me not just in my professional, but not just in my career goals, but also personally. So yes, I'm really looking forward to interacting with you, all applicants and all students, scholars, part of the YSP program. I am part of it too this year, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Thank you. I'd like to hand it over to Utkarsh again for the Q&A session.
Sure. Thank you, Dia. Hello, everyone. And I'd like to invite Dean Shastri back as we begin our round of Q&As. But before that, let me thank Dia on her experience from the YSP. And also, not to mention, but thank you, Vaishali ma'am, for joining us today and sharing Malhar's journey and how he has flourished over his experience during the program, and now he will be a part of Ashoka. Also, thanks to Yukti for sharing the bit on YSP Sciences. And with that, I'll move on to the Q&As. So hello, ma'am, once again. We have a flurry of questions coming our way. So I'll directly jump in and shoot some questions at you. Very quickly, the first question that has come our way is YSP only for liberal arts?
Very nice question, because this is what we love to explain at Ashoka. There are two things. Whenever people hear liberal arts, they think one group thinks that, oh, it is music and dance. And the other group thinks that it is liberal and arts. So I actually want to tell you that it's neither liberal nor arts. So liberal arts is a method of learning. It's a method of multidisciplinary exposure to different subjects and learning in a manner in which really exposes and opens your mind to different options. So YSP is a program that reflects this. So it's not about being only in liberal arts. It has subjects like I just showed you in my PPT also. We'll have a session on physics, we'll have a session on biology, we have a session on computer science. So there will be a whole host of, and every year the disciplines might be a little bit varied, because, now we have more than 10 disciplines where they are major and minor. So we try to bring something that will be of interest to the new generation. Like I said, also one very important part about the way we are going, we are moving to the future is a place of really interdiscipline, or like areas where various things cross. And that is really where a lot of, new ideas, new innovation is happening. So for example, the 2 sessions we have chosen this year for this YSP is digital humanities. Now, if I ask you what is digital humanities, very few of you may have heard of it, but it's an interesting intersection between literature and computer science. Same way with design thinking. What is design thinking? How is it being used in so many fields, right? So this is really about, like Dia said, exposing students to new ways of thinking. And that is liberal arts. And so it's not really something that, if you only do painting or music, you should come to this. Not at all. Very hardcore disciplines are here. We have now the sciences, as you heard from Yukti's presentation. We have actually a very good science department, and they are doing amazing work. They are doing a lot of research. So whether it is our physics, chemistry, biology, or math, or computer science. And I have to say that our first batch of students from the physics department who graduated have all got into great admissions abroad for doing their masters and PhD. And not necessarily they went to do PhD in physics. They did, computational biology. They're doing sort of, other kinds of fields where this can be applied. One other interesting example I want to give you is that we have a student who is in the philosophy department this year. He graduated and he took all the courses to finish a physics major, except short of one. So all the faculty kept saying, why don't you do one more and you can become a physics major? He said, no, I don't want to. I have learned enough physics to actually apply it. And he's doing a PhD in philosophy, and it is the philosophy of physics. So this is the kind of interdisciplinary work that happens at the YSP, and this leads to our students doing very interesting things. I'm sure Dia will do something in computer science that has something to do with IR too, because of her interest in IR, or some other discipline that she chooses and does that. So I hope this really solves the problem about this question of liberal arts.
I think that's very well put, ma'am. I think ma'am has already emphasized on this question, but there's a question that has come away about the application deadline and people are still not sure. So I'll clarify that up for them. So 6 March 2022 is the deadline, and that is a Sunday. So please do complete your applications by then. And I hope there's no confusion at all after this. And moving on to a next question, ma'am, there's an interesting question coming your way. Will the YSP be offline if the COVID cases decrease?
Right. So, we did consider this for about a few days, but it's just that we are in a place of organizing and planning that, this year we have just decided that we will keep the YSP online, and the YSP sciences, which will be a smaller group, will be on campus in person. It will also help us, get back to the in-person experience and making sure that all the protocols for COVID or post-COVID are in place and everybody is safe. See, I want you all to come to campus and safely go back home, right? And you don't want to fall ill because it's only a 5-day program. If somebody falls ill, then they're just going to be, in their rooms, and we don't want that to happen. So I think this will give maximum ability for people to, really use the program in its fullest capacity. So YSP is online, YSP Sciences is offline.
Rightly said, ma'am. All right. There's another question where the person is curious about knowing, is there an additional advantage for people who are applying from a Haryana domicile?
Not really. But if you are from Haryana, then let us know.
Right. Moving on.
I mean, for Ashoka admissions, undergraduate admissions, we do have something that has to do with our state. We are in Haryana, but the YSP, we will look at everybody. But if you are from Haryana, no harm. Let us know.
Sure. Ma'am, I think this question has come specifically from a person who is in IB boards, as they are curious to know if the YSP would be conducted at some other point during this year, because again, there is some clash between the dates.
Right. I know this is very unfortunate for planning and organizing the dates, because the last 2 years, and this is our 3rd year now, we are not able to really look after this whole aspect of, exam dates and YSP dates. As you all know, these exams, board exams, should have been done much earlier in the year, but under very, different circumstances, these are happening later. Unfortunately, we can't keep shifting the dates. So we are just going to go with these dates. I totally understand that some of the classes cannot apply because they'll be having board exams, or some of the other boards cannot do it because they're still in school. So unfortunately, these are the dates. We just have to, work around them. The grades that don't have board exams, like 9th and 11th, can apply. They can, make use of the opportunity. if we'll do YSP again in the year, we try to do YSP in the winter break. We might revisit that. There are advantages of doing it, but there are lots of disadvantages. So we'll have to assess that. And if we do it again and another time of the year, you'll hear it from us, definitely. It will be on our website as well.
Sure. There's this another question that has come to us on the application bit, where this person is asking, do we need to submit a CV for the program? And if we do, what should we add there?
Utkarsh, you tell me, do we need a CV? I think we need an essay, right?
Absolutely not. Yeah. I can answer this. So it's basically an essay. The overall academic score and some bit of your extracurriculars that you like to play, or maybe an hobby, something like that. So these are the major components of the application.
So I think whatever you would write on your CV has been added as a components of the application form itself.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Then there's a question on YSP Sciences, but this is pertaining to the fee, which I think Yukti has already covered. So it says, does the YSP Sciences fee include the fee for YSP Online, or do we have to pay it individually? But I think we have already covered this.
We've covered it, but just to reiterate, these are two different programs, two different fees. And for everyone who's asking it to bring YSP offline, the fees will also go up. So, I think this is a good in between, sort of medium ground for now.
Right. There's another question about, is there a math faculty teaching this time around at YSP?
Specifically, we don't have a math faculty, but like I said, we have digital humanities. And of course, we have physics, where, there'll be some amount of, the topic on the physics lecture is going to be very interesting. So it'll come tangentially, get covered.
Right. Then another question has come up about, can home scholars also apply for YSP?
Sure, absolutely.
Given the fact that it is an online program, you can definitely apply.
Yeah, I mean, just in your schooling, you'll have to tell us that you're homeschooled and, give us some sort of information about what you're doing and how you're doing.
Right. Ma'am, there's a interesting question on financial aid, and maybe we'll cover this. Do the chances of being admitted become lesser if we apply for financial aid?
No. Like I said, we assess financial aid applications separately, and they're done on need. So if you are, qualify in terms of that, then application will be reviewed. So you'll see your essay, your grades, and also your need, and we'll try to match that.
Right. Another question, what if someone from 9th grade would like to participate in YSP Sciences, but in CBSE, we haven't chosen our streams yet. So we haven't gotten very far in sciences yet.
Let me invite you to answer that, I think.
Sure.
Sure. Okay, so this is a question for a 9th grader. I would like to emphasize that even for students who are in their 11th and 12th and they do not have a science background, we are inviting applications for them. So our faculty and the speakers, mentors, they will ensure that they are not talking about something that goes on the top of your head. We will avoid jargon, and we'll ensure that it is a two-way conversation and you really follow what they are trying to explain. So I think, as free from those thoughts as possible, because irrespective of whether you are from 9th grade or from 12th grade, the faculty will take care of that and will ensure that you do have a lot of take home stuff with you. So yeah, that's from my end.
Thanks, Yukti. I think you covered it very well. Ma'am, there's another question that has come to us, and this is majorly about the composition. So the question says, are the sessions common for students of grade 9 to grade 12? Do you have a higher proportion of grade 11 and grade 12 students? I would like to understand if it is equally proportionate for grade 9 as well. Right.
So, we just admit students to the program based on your application. So obviously, a large number of students who are looking at YSP are also looking at colleges. So we do get a large number of applications from the 11th grade. In terms of the class size, maybe there'll be large number of grade 11. But for everything else, we make sure that, it's balanced out. So if you are in a small discussion session or in a writing class or in a workshop, you won't be only with 11th graders alone. You'll be some 9th graders. There will be a mixed group. And that is, something that we also do that's also a liberal arts teaching method, that, you get to meet different people of different ages or different genres. So you can learn from that. I have seen some other questions which is related to whether I'll choose one science subject. Can I choose two? There's no choosing subjects here. In YSP, you will do the entire program. If you're there for the YSP, you'll do the academic piece, no choice. You'll do all the 10 subjects. Same way with the sciences, whatever the content that the science team is planning, you will do all of that. You will get choice beyond that. Like I said, in the writing sessions, in the workshops, in activities, maybe, for the sciences, Yukti can talk a little bit about, maybe there's 3 choices in different labs because, they have to go into, so you'll have internal choice, but in terms of the academic component of the program, everybody will do the same program.
Right. Ma'am, there's another interesting question which actually questions the goal of this program, where this person has asked, is there any end project that we are working towards? Along with the curriculum or just the workshops and discussions?
Right. So it really depends. We have a lot of times we do have a final sort of closure in a closing ceremony. And at that time, we do invite different groups, different cohorts, we call them cohorts, to organize and present something. So we do have people presenting something based on either their learning or their workshops or some new thing that they have done. Yes, we do have that, but it's not like an exam or anything. It's just, and it's totally optional.
Sure. There's another participant who has raised his hand. I'll maybe allow them to talk and ask their query. Archana Chawla is the name. I'll just allow her to talk. Archana, can you hear us? Maybe you can go ahead and ask your query.
Am I audible?
Yes, Archana, go ahead, please.
Thank you very much. My question is only for the commerce. Like generally I've seen in YSP, a lot of science subjects are there. And in commerce side, I've seen economics plus entrepreneurship. Definitely English is there. So do you think the student who's doing commerce in 11th and 12th will be equally beneficial for their learning?
I want to invite Vaishali back, because I think, Vaishali, I heard you say that your son was planning to do commerce and BCom, right? And BBE. So, Archana, I think it doesn't matter, because right now your child is really young. They may be interested in commerce and BCom. They can do that. We certainly don't have BCom as a major department, but we have economics and finance. We have entrepreneurship. And they can certainly, combine these disciplines if they come to Ashoka. But, YSP is an introduction to a college life and, experience of a summer program for a pre-college program, which will introduce your son to other aspects. So he may continue to do commerce and may go somewhere else, but this will certainly help him in his journey. So Vaishali, what would you like to add to that?
Yeah, certainly. So as you rightly said, Shastri, that Malhar was planning, he had taken up commerce in the ISC in the 11th and 12th grade. But when he joined YSP, like much before the 11th grade started, he was exposed to physics, economics, entrepreneurship, chemistry, and all those subjects. And the amalgamation of these subjects was done so beautifully that he was really intrigued by this whole pedagogy, and he was really very happy to be there, where he was not bracketed into a commerce stream or a science stream or a humanities stream, and he could study his areas very comfortably, these subjects very comfortably. So that is the benefit of doing this interdisciplinary education. And he was very happy doing the YSP that time.
Thank you, Vaishali. Yeah. Archana, do we answer your question?
Yeah, ma'am, definitely. I got an idea. And I'm hoping, if they have done commerce in 11th and 12th, and through YSP, if they make, they are interested for science subject. So might Ashoka, if there is a journey or destiny, might Ashoka will entertain them for science subject then. It means.
Yes, why not? Why
Right?
not?
Oh, great.
Yes,
Thank you, ma'am.
why not?
Thank you very
Yes.
much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Archana, for raising your query and getting it answered. We also have another raised hand, and this is from Rohan. So maybe Rohan, if you can hear me, you can maybe ask your query now.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I just had one small doubt that the application on the form was, the deadline for it was showing 5th April, while everywhere else it's showing March 6th. So could you just clarify which date do we have to send by?
Right. So we'll check on that. But I think what we want to do is we want to, we are doing already rolling admissions. If you're submitting your application and then we are already offered, more than 10 students are in the program already. So if you are concerned about your own spot and your place, the application, the deadline is March 6th. Currently, I mean, we may extend it based on how many applications we get. If we fill the class, we're done. We can all then plan and go take a little break. But if we want to continue and keep the application open, then of course we'll extend the deadline. But if you're very close to finishing your application, I would advise you to submit it, because an early offer is better for you as well, and for us also in terms of the review process. So I hope that explains our position, Rohan.
Yep, thanks a
lot. Moving on, thanks Rohan for asking a query. Ma'am, there's a question where the student has asked, on how does a YSP program help for college applications?
Great. Let's bring Dia back on that.
Sure. One sec.
Dia, if you're still there, can you?
She might be facing some network issues, maybe. Dia, can you hear us?
Okay. So we'll wait for Dia to come back. But, I think the YSP, what it does is the way you sort of get exposed to what Ashoka as a university offers. And because also we do a special session on how to apply, it certainly helps you in both in the application. It can also help you in applying to other colleges. So my short answer is yes, YSP does help you in understanding what college entails, how to apply, and also your application process. Number two, like Dia said, we have so many of our own undergraduate students who, are working in the program. And so the students at YSP make friends with them because, our discussion sessions are very small, only 10 to 12 students with one student. So you really get to know the counselors, you really get to know Ashoka students, you watch them, you hear from them, and they will, always be there to coach and mentor you. I think maybe Vaishali can also come back. I'm sure Malhar also talked to his seniors and got some inputs. So yes, my answer would be that it will definitely help you in however you want to craft your application, whether it is to Ashoka or elsewhere. Vaishali, you want to add a few things here?
Yes, I certainly reiterate what you said, ma'am, that the seniors at Ashoka are very helpful. And once you are in the YSP alum, you can get connected to a lot of seniors and they're very helpful. They will guide you and handhold you through the entire application process. Like Malar would consult a lot of seniors and, keep asking them for, the essay process and the application process. And he took help for the interview process, like how he should prepare himself and what is required of him. And more so, he was very well prepared because he had seen what Ashoka what Ashoka life is all about during the YSP, though it was online, but it was exactly a replica of what it would be offline. So it really, really helped him. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for that response, Vaishali ma'am. And there's another question that has come up, and it says that the person is not really well versed with the subject of humanity. And can I get the amount of knowledge that is needed for humanity?
I'm not sure I understand the question, but
Yeah, I'll maybe
it seems
repeat
like a
this
very
again.
philosophical question. But yes, I mean, I hope if you join the program, you'll get the kind of knowledge you want.
Right.
I think
there's
there are also some questions I'm seeing on this whole thing, that if you get into YSP, will you get into YSP sciences?
Right.
And I think we want to really reiterate this, that if you want to do the YSP sciences, you have to attend YSP. And that is your gateway to, like I said, your gateway to YSP sciences is by attending the YSP. It is from this. And so as we are giving admissions and rolling out, once we have a little bit more momentum, then we will start looking at from the accepted students, we will start reviewing for YSP sciences. And then you'll get a call for that also. You'll get an email, an offer, and that you'll have to then process the fees and enroll in the program.
Sure. Ma'am, a student has asked on when will they get to know the status of their application. They've already applied.
Yeah. So if you've already applied, we have reviewed almost all the applications, and we do offers every Thursday. So every Thursday you will hear from us. If you don't hear from us, that means we have not yet made a decision to offer you, but we'll continue to keep reviewing these. Even if we don't give it to you in the first round, we may come back to you. So not to worry. Just be patient with us.
Sure. Another question, and this is an interesting one, where the person has asked, can we stay in contact with the professors after the program? Would they be willing to write LOR for college if we make a significant connection with them?
If you make a significant connection with them, yes. I think in the online mode, it is a little bit hard to make sort of a connection. Letters of recommendation are written by faculty once they really know you well. So that's really individual choice. So I'm really not able to, comment on that beyond saying that, yes, if you really get to know them and you do something with them, then,
Sure. Ma'am, there's a query that has come to us from a foreign parent who's not currently residing in India, and they're asking whether the program, their daughter wants to do the program, but they are not on IST. So can we accommodate that? However, they have not mentioned the exact location.
Well, it's online. So if they're wherever they are, if they're willing to, wake up in the night or, whatever time, our sessions are from 9:30 to 5:30 IST. So right. Obviously, these are the timings for the program. And somebody also asked, will it help in your US applications? Absolutely. If you're sitting in India and you want to apply to liberal arts colleges and university anywhere in the world, attending the YSP will definitely help you. You can write about that you attended a pre-college program, and Ashoka is a well-recognized name abroad through our international partnerships. The admission session that we do will also give you little insights on how to craft your application. So yes, absolutely.
I'll also add to that, ma'am, because over the past few years, we have received applications from foreign, and these are students majorly from Dubai. We have received applications from Sri Lanka, Afghanistan. So if your time range really matches with IST, you can also join the program live itself online as well. So that would be my take on that as well. All right, I think we are almost at the dead end of questions, but you can also raise your hands in case if you want to ask a question. Also, again, there's an interdisciplinary question, ma'am, that has come across where a student is asking, can a commerce person attend the humanities at YSP, sorry.
Absolutely. I also noticed another question which said that, if I have biology and psychology, should I do YSP or should I do YSP sciences? It doesn't work like that. If you're interested in biology and psychology, please do the YSP, because we have both a session on psychology and biology this year. And that will really become your way to enter the YSP sciences. You could do both. So it's neither this or there. You can apply for both.
Yeah. I think we have received this question many times, ma'am, now. And this person is asking, when will we get to experience Ashoka on a campus tour?
Right. So for those who are in the YSP sciences and we can actually host it, you'll be on campus. For everybody else, what we are trying to do is, because we have had several sessions online, when it's safe for large numbers to come to campus, maybe by September when we open in the fall, we will have a weekend, YSP weekend for a session for all the alumni to come and visit the campus. But if you're interested in doing a tour of Ashoka, the outreach team at Ashoka hosts campus tours. They haven't started it in person yet because of the COVID protocols. But if everything is safe, then I'm assuming that by August or July, August, they will. So if you're in the National Capital Region around Delhi or traveling or driving past, it's on our website. You can just go and you can schedule a campus tour. They will get started, I'm sure, sometime in August, September.
Sure. Thank you for that response. I think we're almost done with the questions. In case if anyone would like to raise hand and maybe go ahead, please do that now. Now would be a good time.
Great. So anyway, I mean, I think we are coming to the end of our hour and we've covered a lot. I think nobody else, is there anybody else who's raised their hand?
No, ma'am, not at the moment. Can't see.
Okay. Okay. So Yukti, do you want to do a closing statement? And otherwise we'll just wrap it up here.
So yes, thank you, Professor Shastri and Utkarsh. Just one quick announcement that we will share some sort of a program structure and a list of frequently asked questions focusing on YSP Sciences by next week. So do keep an eye out on the YSP Sciences website, and all the best with the applications. Thank you.
I think I have a couple of raised hands now. So
okay.
Maybe I'll take those. Talvinder, if you can hear us, please go ahead. Talvinder, can you hear us?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Good evening, ma'am. I am a parent of a homeschooler. And my question is particularly with respect to the age, because he has never been to school. So grade 9 means age 14. Is there a minimum age? If he's intellectually capable of understanding it much before, say at the age of 11 or 12, can he apply? Thank you.
Is he homeschooled?
Yes, he's homeschooled completely.
Right. I'm sorry, if he's homeschooled and if he's not up to the age of the other grades and he's only 11, that may be something that we'll not be able to take. Because apart from grades, we also need an age group because, it will be hard, I think, socially, or I mean, it may not be hard, but that's a very interesting question because this is the first time we've got homeschoolers asking us questions. So let me go back to my team. We'll discuss it. If there's any change, we will let you know. But as of now, my gut feeling is that, there would be an important age cutoff as well for this program. But you know what? Things can always change. Thank you for raising a very interesting new aspect about the program that we'll have to consider now.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Talvinder. Sandeep Chakravarti, can you ask your question now?
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I actually typed in my question because I was not sure if I would get a chance to speak. So I see that it's from the range of grade 9 through to grade 12, right?
Yeah.
The question is, assuming someone's in grade 9 this year, would it benefit for them to go through again when they're in grade 10 and then again when they're in grade 11, or is this once in a period of 4 years? How does this work really with respect to?
Right. So yeah, thank you for your question, Sandeep. I think we've had students who've done it twice. And it's perfectly okay. In our very first year, we did it's first couple of years we didn't want to do that, but because of such, we had capacity was lower. But now that especially in the online mode, we can accommodate large numbers. And somebody wants to do it the second time, that's perfectly okay. And we've had, I think Dia is not here anymore, but we can tell students have done that in the past.
Okay, but I guess my question was more on if somebody has done it last year and let's say they do it again this year, is this year going to be different from what was done last year?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why we said we don't repeat the same faculty again and again. We have different faculty, different subjects, different workshops, Structure is the same, but the content is, obviously different every year.
Perfect. And would the same then apply for the, I think you were referring to a winter session earlier as well. Would a
Yes,
similar concept apply there as well then?
yes, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. I think
Perfect.
there
Thank
is
you.
again, some clarity on the dates. Let me tell you the dates for the YSP and the YSP Sciences. The YSP is May 16th to 20th,
Yep.
and the YSP Sciences, there's a 1 week gap. And why we put the gap? Because if you remember, YSP Sciences is going to be in person. We wanted to give you enough time for the students to travel to campus, to Sonipat, and come here. And that is why the sciences, the dates for the sciences is May 30th to June 3rd. So we've also written that on the chat. Thank you, Yukti, for doing that. So you can, please make a note of that. Sure. Do email us with any other questions or call us if we can, subjects people want us to cover. So like I said, you can see our faculty and the subjects on our webpage. There are 10 disciplines that we're covering, from economics, history, English, literature, digital humanities, design thinking, which is entrepreneurship, physics, biology, IR, and law. So that is what we are covering. In the sciences, of course, it's, mostly just sciences, which is physics, chemistry, biology, and computer science. So I wouldn't worry too much about which discipline we are covering, because you'll see that the way they present their discipline, students will learn a lot and will get exposed to a whole different kind of way of studying and learning. I think we've come to 7 o'clock, Utkarsh.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
So
Archana,
let
just
me.
Sorry to interrupt. Archana, is there anything else you would like to ask?
I think she just forgot to lower her hand.
Maybe. So I'm closing this now. And
right. So let me just thank our guests. Vaishali, thank you for coming. Yukti, thank you for joining us. And all the participants, thank you very much for joining our webinar, and have a great evening.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Utkarsh. Thank you for hosting.
Sure.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Mr. Utkarsh.
Thank you, Vaishali. Great to have you.
Yeah.